I'm Anna, a 40-year-old woman with a life story that's anything but straight. Let's start from the very beginning, shall we? It's just me and my son, Michael, a spirited 10-year-old who's the spitting image of his father. His dad? Well, that's a chapter of my life I kept under wraps, until it unfolded in ways I never expected. My husband, Jack, was a man of good heart and troubled past. We knew each other for what felt like a lifetime. Friends turned to lovers, a classic tale, except ours had its share of thorns. Jack was once married, a union that fizzled out without the pitter-patter of little feet to echo through their home. Then life threw us together. It felt right, it felt destined, and soon, we tied the knot, a small ceremony, just close friends and a few relatives. Jack's family? Well, let's just say it was a mixed bag. Most were welcoming, but there was one, his younger sister, Laura. Life after the wedding was a bit like walking on eggshells, especially when it came to Laura. She was a regular at our house, dropping by unannounced, always with that same, sweet-as-pie smile when Jack was around. But her eyes, they were another story, darting around, taking everything in with a kind of cold calculation. One evening, not long after we got married, she came over for dinner. Jack was in high spirits, laughing and chatting about this and that. Laura was all compliments, her voice dripping with honey. "Anna, this casserole is divine. You must give me the recipe," she said, her eyes fixed on me, but it felt like she was looking for something, anything to criticize. "Sure, Laura. It's really simple," I replied, forcing a smile. Jack left the room to take a call, and the air shifted. Laura leaned in, her voice low and menacing. "Simple, huh? Just like you. You think you've got everyone fooled, but not me. I know what you're after." I clenched my fists under the table, trying to keep my cool. "I'm not sure what you mean, Laura. Jack and I love each other. That's all there is to it." She scoffed, rolling her eyes. "Love? Please. You saw an opportunity, and you took it. But watch your back, Anna. I'm on to you." The conversation was always the same, a never-ending loop of accusations and veiled threats. I wanted to tell Jack, to expose her for what she really was, but I knew it would break his heart. He loved his sister, despite everything. So, I kept silent, hoping against hope that she'd eventually see the truth. Michael, bless his heart, tried to stay out of it, but kids are perceptive. He'd ask me, "Mom, why doesn't Aunt Laura like us?" I'd hug him tight, whispering reassurances. "She's just different, honey. But it's okay. We have each other, and that's all that matters." But it wasn't okay. Every visit, every snide remark, it chipped away at me. I felt like I was living in a house with two faces, the happy home we showed the world, and the tense, guarded reality whenever Laura was around. One day, things came to a head. Laura had been particularly venomous, going on about how I was ruining her brother's life, how I'd never be a real part of their family. I'd had enough. "Look, Laura, I don't know what your problem is, but this is my home too. I'm your brother's wife, whether you like it or not. So cut the crap and either treat us with some respect or don't come back." Her eyes narrowed, a smirk playing on her lips. "Oh, I'll be back, Anna. After all, someone has to keep an eye on you. Just remember, you're nothing here. You're just playing pretend, and I'm not buying it." After she left, I slumped against the door, feeling drained and defeated. It was like living with a ghost, a constant, nagging presence that refused to leave us in peace. Laura was a piece of work. To Jack, she was sweetness personified, always complimenting my home, my cooking. But the moment his back was turned, the mask would drop, and so would my heart. "Playing house, Anna?" Laura would sneer the minute we were alone, her eyes scanning the room like she was looking for dirt. "You think you've snagged yourself a golden ticket with my brother, huh?" I'd grit my teeth, forcing a smile. "Laura, I love Jack. This isn't about money or comfort. It's about being a family. Family? She'd scoff, tossing her hair back. Please, you and that kid are just extra baggage he decided to pick up. But don't worry, I see right through you. Her words stung, but I kept my composure, for the sake of peace, for the sake of the man I loved. Jack was oblivious to this side of Laura, or maybe he chose to be. He adored his sister, despite her faults, and I tried for his sake. At gatherings, Laura's dual nature was on full display. With Jack in the room, she was all praises and smiles. But let him step out, and her words turned sharp, her glances scalding. I did my best to navigate these waters, keeping my distance, keeping my calm. Anna, why do you even bother with her? My best friend, Rachel, would ask. She's nothing but trouble. I know, Ratch, I'd sigh, sipping my coffee, but she's Jack's sister. What can I do? I just hope one day she'll come around. But deep down, I knew. Some people never change. Laura was like a storm cloud on a clear day, always looming, always threatening to burst. Yet, I held on to hope, a hope that perhaps, one day, we'd find some common ground. As for Michael, he was too young to understand the undercurrents, too innocent to see the disdain in Laura's eyes. He just knew her as his aunt, the one who gave him stiff hugs and forced smiles. I wanted to protect him from her bitterness, shield him from the harsh realities of family politics. He deserved a childhood untouched by such adult resentments. So, there you have it. The stage was set, our lives intertwined in a web of love, secrets, and simmering tensions. Little did I know, the threads of our past were about to unravel, in ways none of us could foresee. But I couldn't let her win. I had to be strong, for Jack, for Michael. I had to believe that someday, somehow, things would get better. That maybe, just maybe, Laura would see that I was here for love, not for money or status. That we were a family, not just a convenient arrangement. So, I kept going, putting on a brave face, and hoping for a day when Laura's poisoned welcome would be nothing but a distant memory. It was a day like any other until the phone rang, shattering our little world into before and after. Jack's gone, they said, and with 3 words, my heart was torn from my chest. I had to tell Michael, my sweet, 10-year-old boy, who still believed the world was kind and fair. His reaction was immediate and devastating, a mixture of tears and disbelief. Why, Mom? Why did he have to go? He sobbed, and I had no answers, just my own silent screams and aching emptiness. As the day of the funeral drew near, I was swallowed by arrangements and condolences, a never-ending stream of tasks and tears. And through it all, Laura, Jack's sister, was absent. Not a call, not a visit, as if her brother's death was a mere inconvenience. Her indifference was a cold slap amidst our grief. Then came the funeral, a solemn affair of black suits and quiet sobs. Michael clung to me, his small hand a lifeline in the sea of sorrow. That's when Laura arrived, late, her entrance grandiose in a revealing, black dress that whispered of expensive tastes and little regard for the occasion. Her face was calm, almost pleased, as she sauntered in, her presence more of a statement than a show of respect. She floated among the mourners, her demeanor unsettlingly light. Her absence in the preparations, now paired with her almost celebratory attire, felt like a betrayal, a mockery of Jack's memory. I stood there, holding Michael close, feeling the weight of grief and anger. How could she be so callous, so utterly detached? Her brother, her flesh and blood, lay before us, and she carried on as if attending a gala. It was more than disrespectful, it was cruel. But as the service continued, a quiet resolve settled over me. I needed to be strong, for Michael, for myself, for the love and life Jack and I shared. I whispered a silent prayer, not just for Jack, but for myself. Give me strength, I implored, feeling the gentle touch of something greater than myself steadying my heart. Help me through this day, through this pain. Let me be the anchor for Michael, as we navigate these dark waters.